For this week's virtual visit, we came to Abingdon, Virginia. You might recognize this place if you're a fan of the Creeper Trail. This is the trailhead in the Abingdon location, but this isn't necessarily what we're going to explore today. We're going to be looking more on the Main Street area of Abingdon, some of the history behind that. We're going to tell you about a self-guided historical tour that you can take that goes across Main Street and back along Plum Alley, as well as talk about some of the businesses and outdoor recreation within the Abingdon region. So if you would like to, I invite you to come along and join me. Now, before we get started on our main virtual tour today, I wanted to tell you about Abingdon's self-guided historic tour that you could do yourself. It is absolutely amazing. If you just go to their website, and I'll include a link for that, you can actually download your own brochure to print out, or when the visitor centers are open, I think you can even pick one up there as well. But this tour will take you to over 20-some historic locations in downtown Abingdon, where you can learn a little bit of the history, get some photos, and just soak in that life. Abingdon has its roots dating back to 1750, so there's definitely a lot of history here and a lot of stories to tell. I actually started my walk yesterday at the Virginia Creeper Trail Welcome Center, which you can see here. And when this place is actually open, unfortunately yesterday it was not, there's been some beautiful photography in here and a little bit of history regarding the Creeper Trail. But if you come up to this map, it'll give you a list of other locations that you might want to visit throughout Abingdon while you're here. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started down on Main Street. And as you're leaving the Virginia Creeper Trail, you're going to pass by the Blue Hills Market with some great natural products and foods, as well as 128 Pecan, a great dining experience here local to the Abingdon, Virginia region. So this is probably one of the two most notable features on Main Street in Abingdon. Of course, we're in front of the Martha Washington right now. Across the street is the Barter Theater. A lot of history behind both of these iconic locations, which you can find out more about on the historic tour, which is available for download. I'll leave a link for that in the description box. When the visitor centers are open, you can actually get a physical brochure from them as well. And this is actually on the grounds of the Martha Washington. Nice little gazebo area. I've seen some music going here. Very popular spot for photo opportunities, definitely for like proms and weddings and engagements. I've seen that happen here. Lovely little landscaping. Nice area just to sit and kind of enjoy the scenery. And just adjacent to the Martha Washington grounds and across the street from the Barter Theater is, of course, the Barter Stage 2, which we'll walk up to in just a moment. But there's also an iconic water fountain and sculpture here, as well as one of the love signs that you might have noticed all across the state of Virginia. There's actually a few of these love signs here in Abingdon. Another one of those signs can be found at the Southwest Virginia Cultural Center and Marketplace, just off of exit 14 on I-81. And you might notice that you'll see a lot of different wolf type sculptures and things throughout Abingdon. That's because there are sections of Abingdon known as Wolf Hills. So you have things like the Wolf Hills Brewery, and you have all these really cool wolves that you see featured throughout. A few years ago, there was some art done where they actually made a bunch of these different types of ceramic wolves. I believe these are ceramic, but they have different types of artwork on them, and you used to be able to find them all throughout the town. And then, of course, right over here is where you have the Barter Stage 2. So some really neat things there just in this little local area. So what we're going to do is head on down the rest of this part of Main Street, talk about a few other feature locations, as well as some places for shopping and dining here in Abingdon. And as you're walking down Main Street, you might notice some of these historical markers that has some great information about different things. That one was for the Barter Theater. Down here we have the Stonewall Jackson Female Institute marker, as well as the Governor John B. Floyd. So for history buffs out there, you have a lot of these nice little markers to kind of give you some more insight to the area and different cool little facts. Very old landmark here in Abingdon is the St. Thomas Episcopal Church, which was established in 1846. Definitely some beautiful architecture that's withstood the test of time. And then now we have the Sinking Springs Presbyterian Church right here on Main Street. And if you just keep going right past the Presbyterian Church, you'll see where we were just a little bit ago. There's the Blue Hills Market, 128 Pecan, and then the Creeper Trail's just right on back over those railroad tracks. So everything's like right here in great walking distance in Abingdon, and that's one of the reasons that myself and so many others love to come here. On the back side of the Main Street strip, you can see the actual Main Street is just right up this way. But right back here, we do have the Abingdon Farmers Market, where you have that set up on Saturdays, and you also have a lot of events that go on here as well. A lot of the summer music programming and such takes place right on this lawn, where you're free to bring chairs and hang out and sit in the grassy area, where they do have a stage usually set up there for those type of events. Now, if you keep on heading down Main Street, you'll start to leave more of the historic district and come into more of this commerce district, which is full of a lot of local shops for both food and dining. And antique lovers, go ahead and rejoice, because there are some great antique shops right here on Main Street. Now, the thing I like about these businesses is you won't see any big name businesses here. They're all locally owned and operated right here in Abingdon, and that's what I love about Southwest Virginia's small towns, is that you can find such unique and cool things that are centric to the heritage and culture of Southwest Virginia. And the food, don't even get me started, because I'll definitely get hungry and have to go pay another visit down there. But definitely a section that you want to visit after you've built up an appetite, or you're just ready to do some shopping. Now, if outdoor recreation is your thing, Abingdon also offers a lot centric around that. Everything from Hidden Valley Lake, South Holston Lake, of course the Virginia Creeper Trail, but Abingdon's also in fairly close proximity to a lot of other outdoor locations that you can get to. About an hour or so drive away from Abingdon, you can get to Grayson Highlands State Park. Of course, you can take a trip on over to Damascus, Virginia, and view their parts of the Creeper Trail, and even hit up parts of the Appalachian Trail. But as far as outdoor recreation, there's definitely a lot Abingdon has to offer, and they also showcase. Now, of course, today's video is just a brief overview of the many things that Abingdon, Virginia has to offer. There's so many other things, such as reenactments and museums and music stores, and just so many great things to do in this small town that it would be virtually impossible to cover it all in just one visit. So we are making plans to go back and visit Abingdon, as well as all the other communities across Southwest Virginia as we can. If you'd like to find out more about Abingdon, Virginia, and all the amazing things that you can do there, feel free to visit their website at visitabingdonvirginia.com. Again, there will be links for all this down in the description box below, but I thank you so much for joining me today on this virtual visit of Abingdon, and I look forward to seeing you again next week as we explore more of the amazing things that Southwest Virginia has to offer.